Well, finally, the U.S. has brokered a nuclear treaty with Iran. And President Obama assures us that the world is a safer place because Iran will comply with the terms of the treaty and no longer be able to acquire the bomb. What's your take on the President's comments about the treaty? Tom?
Well, I think his comments are pretty well taken. It seems to be a very good agreement given all the things we have to deal with here. It seems that, you know, the international community is behind this, including Russia and China, which I think is a major accomplishment, that if I were him, I'd be very proud as a peacock to be announcing this, that we've actually achieved this. A lot of work, and it seems good.
Art?
Yes.
Well, let me say.
Hand raised.
And I won't embarrass anybody.
Okay.
But I have a sneaking suspicion that sitting around the table, only one of us has read the treaty, and that was me. And what I'm going to say is that it's not a treaty that's going to prevent Iran getting the bomb. It's going to guarantee that they can get the bomb in 8 years. Now, the other thing that is very, very troubling to me is there are pieces of the treaty that are known only to the Iranians and the IAE, which is the inspection organization, International Inspection Organization, and those pieces of the treaty have not been given to the Congress of the United States, and they haven't been given to the people of the United States. And one of the key issues purportedly in there is the fact that the people that are going to dig up the soil samples to test are the Iranians. Now, I don't know how anybody can say this is a good treaty that protects the United States, as far as that's concerned, from Iran with the bomb.
But if we hadn't gone into the treaty, they could have built the bomb in a few months. Now we're looking at several years possibly, and they're being watched the entire time. They have to fall under these inspections that are, you know, that are governed by the United Nations. So we're slowing the process down, and they have to comply. And if they don't comply, then all of those sanctions will go back into place.
They'll never go back into place.
Well, that's exactly
They'll go
right.
back into place.
I
mean,
fully,
we have done
fully
things
agree
like
with you,
that,
Jim.
like in in '72, under Nixon. You know, something similar happened. So you know, we have to, as a nation, there are things that sometimes have to be done under the name of diplomacy to slow things down, to make deals with your enemies. You can't just let them sit there and ignore that they're building it.
But the problem is they're going to ignore the deal. In my opinion, and this is you know, this is future talk. But here's what I know. There have been two public statements that the leaders of this country have, and the people of this country have made. Number one, death to America. Number two, Israel is a one-bomb country, meaning one nuclear weapon and it's out of here. I'm not sure how we go in and have any faith that they're going to uphold this treaty, given they are the #1 state sponsor of terrorism in the entire world.
However, most nuclear experts who know far more than I do read this treaty, and Republicans and Democrats, and they say that what's in there is pretty darn good.
If
that
they
this is going
adhere
to
to it.
prevent them building a bomb for at least 7 or 8 years. And in fact, as we go down the road, it may eventually prevent it altogether. There's been no other options proposed other than bomb Iran, which is not an option.
Right. No, I'm not.
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to agree with that. It's not an option.
It's not an option. The Pentagon does not want it. They say if you do that, within 2 years, they will get a bomb. That's the Pentagon.
Well, no, wait a second. No, wait a second.
No.
Who gets bombed in this?
The Iranians do in their facilities, which a lot of them are in the centers of populated areas. You can't go in and just destroy Iran and its people.
Well, You know, that's probably something I'd debate at some time or another.
Well, I wouldn't on a
the
humanitarian
mutual-
basis or moral
and
basis.
I
I would not
understand.
debate.
Wasn't it Iran that had the uprisings and wanted a change in government, and we sat by idle and did nothing? Was I incorrect
Ronald
in my-
Reagan sent them 1,500 missiles
Well,
back in the 1980s for money against the wishes of
Iran
the U.S.
Contra.
Congress.
That's exactly right. But I mean, again,
Nothing like this is being done.
let's
We're not
look at-
giving them weapons.
let's look
Well,
at
actually, we
sanctions
are
in the
giving them
past.
access back to the
They already
non.
have the access.
But
Yeah.
we're
That's the
opening
point.
up. We're opening up that
No,
access.
We're not opening it
Let's
up.
look back to the Jimmy Carter administration and what the Iranians did on the day after Ronald Reagan was sworn in as President of the United States. The Iranians released the 54 hostages that they'd held for over a year. Why did they release them?
Well, there's been stories because Ronald Reagan made a deal. His campaign people did with the Iranians previously.
And part of the deal was
Never proven,
if you
but-
don't release those hostages, we're going to face you militarily.
Yeah.
And I see nothing in the world wrong with that. I mean, I'm not
that
a
wasn't-
warmonger,
that
but then again, on the other hand, I'm certainly not a dove when it comes to this.
Yeah, but then he gave him 1,500 missiles.
Oh yeah, the
which I'm
Iran-Contra deal.
I'm sure Israel was not happy about.
Nope, they certainly weren't. But let's go back to the Ronald Reagan period of time,
Great Reagan,
1984, and where are we now? 2015.
Yeah.
So what's that? 84.
They
That's
still
a
haven't
bunch
gotten
of-
the bomb, though.
That's
They
a
hadn't
bunch
get
of
the bomb
years.
yet.
That's a bunch of years. And probably more than the bomb itself. In other words, the ability to. I'm certain the Iranians at this moment in life have more than enough capability to build a bomb, put it in a suitcase, literally, and bring it over and have it exploded in some American city.
I don't know that's true. I think the nuclear experts would disagree with you
Well,
on that.
I don't know.
Because they need
You know,
all
everybody's
pieces.
got
You
their
that's-
exports.
Well, I think these are the majority of them, according to what I read,
Yep.
believe this is what they believe. One of the guys who negotiated this treaty was the foremost expert on this subject.
Well, yeah.
And they're going to
The
watch them
energy
as
guy.
this is going.
Well,
It's not like
but
we
he
signed a treaty.
knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's
Well, and it's not like we signed a treaty and we're just going to
It's gotta be
believe that they're
approved.
going to do it. They're going to be watched, and they're
Well,
going to be
let's
watched
go
while
past
the
the
whole world.
bomb just a second.
Just like we keep the Mexicans out of the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah, we do a very
Nothing to
good, we do
with,
good,
you know,
very
war
good
and
job.
peace
But we
here.
do this president particularly has a propensity not to live up to his own laws.
But according
Well,
to the treaty,
that's not his problem now. He's not going to be president much longer.
Thankfully.
yeah.
Somebody else will, maybe a Democrat.
Let's
may
talk
be,
about.
likely.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk for just a second about more than the bomb, and let's talk about the delivery systems. And currently, the Iranians have a delivery system that they can put a nuclear warhead on Israel and other states in the Mid East.
So does Pakistan,
well,
India,
and
Israel.
and we're about to, because of the release of the sanctions, says in 2 years, not only will they have them, we will have sold them to them. And so, I just cannot see where this deal has anything except some bad vibes for the United States,
What's
for
your
my kids.
proposal to stop the bomb? That's what I want.
Well, I think my proposal is what's been put forth by the Republican Party for ages, which is not only don't take the sanctions off, increase them.
Absolutely. And that's going to be
Increase.
the last word on that one. Next up on the flip side, marijuana growing permits in Washington County. Stay tuned, grab a snack, and light them if you got them. We'll be back in 3.
Smoke them if you got them.